with our education team, educationprojects.org. GrowNextGen is an education program funded by the Soybean Checkoff and the Ohio Soybean Council. The checkoff is funds that soybean farmers pay themselves into every time they sell a bushel of soybeans. And that money is then used and approved by our volunteer soybean board on a number of projects. And those projects are aimed to drive innovation and to build understanding. And one of the main things that our board has funded over the last 7, 8 years has been the development of the education platform GrowNextGen. This marks our 30th year of the checkoff, and I can honestly say that our board considers GrowNextGen to be, if not the, one of the signature platforms of the Ohio Soybean Council. The reason they invest in education, back in about 2012, 2013, we asked our farmers for a couple things they were really interested in. Well, they were interested in yield, big surprise. But what else were they interested in? Education. That's when GrowNextGen was born. For two primary reasons, they're interested in education. One is to make the connection between agriculture and science in the classroom and to help teachers and students make that connection. The second thing, and equally important, is workforce development. Our farmers want to see the best and brightest go into agriculture careers, and they felt that most students in Ohio's classrooms and in classrooms around the country don't really know what career opportunities there are associated with agriculture. So we're really happy that you're here tonight, and we would like you to take in all the good information you're going to receive tonight. Jane, the education director from educationprojects.org, will take you through on a guided tour of GrowNextGen and show you all the resources that have been developed to help teachers and students, from career videos to curricula, to activities in the classroom, to industry leaders to contact, and information about workshops for teachers. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jane and hope you enjoy this evening's guided tour through GrowNextGen. Take it away, Jane.
Thanks, Tom. I really appreciate you opening it up for us. As Tom said, I am the Director of Education for educationprojects.org. I am honored to work with Tom and the Ohio Soybean Council to help them curate this platform as well as to offer workshops. So it does give me great pleasure to have him open us up. And also, I want to make sure that I thank all of you. I know that this is a very difficult time for teachers, and for you to have taken an hour out of your night to spend with us to learn a little bit more about this free resource for teachers. We really appreciate that. And I do have a few of our teacher leaders with us that you'll be meeting a little later on, and a couple of our team members that are also going to be helping you, because I'm not going to be the only one talking. You guys are actually going to be working to try and find some of those resources that Tom was mentioning. So without further ado, I'm going to start a tour of the website. And the first thing that I want to show you is there is a landing page here on GrowNextGen. And we have actually some Rachel Sanders students right there highlighted. But we have this What's New section that's being constantly updated. We have a countdown to our next event, and that's going to be an e-tech presentation. And then some featured curriculum. And there's a short video that tells you a little bit more about what GrowNextGen's all about. So that's on your landing page. But the main meat of the things that you're probably interested in are part of these classroom resources. So this tab right here. So there are content collections, and we know you guys are really busy and overwhelmed right now. And so what we've tried to do is make things as easy as possible. So we've actually curated about 7 or 8 different content collections around various topics. And you can see here that we also have a virtual classroom set. So if you have one of those virtual days, but you want your students to maybe do a little work on their own or during their hybrid day off, you can use some of these virtual classroom resources. But tonight I want to kind of do a little deep dive into the environmental science collection. That's what I did when I was a teacher in the classroom. I taught environmental science and biology. And so this is kind of my favorite area. You can see that the collections have multiple pieces. It's our designer calls it a bucket. So we have multiple portions of different things in the bucket. So we have industry leaders, we have external links for articles that talk specifically about what's going on in agriculture and agriculture research. We have some curriculum units, career videos, news articles about how other teachers and other our events have been highlighting different areas and aspects of agriculture. Again, more units, more career videos, some teacher leaders. So you can see that it's a lot of stuff, but it's all related to environmental science. And one of the things I love about this is these curriculum units were created by our network of teachers. So we do have, like I said, a few leaders on board with us tonight, but we have curated these pieces of curriculum from teachers. They're tested in the classroom, and they have lots of really interesting resources attached to them. So this one, barges, trains, and trucks. Well, why might we care about logistics when we're talking about soybeans and farming? Well, if you think about this, and Tom can correct me if I'm wrong, but just about every other row of soybeans in Ohio is exported. So we have to get, the farmers have to get that load of grain from their farm somewhere to get it to exportation. So one of the things that's really important to agriculture is infrastructure. So the reason I want to talk about this is you see that here's our title, then you have an essential question, like your kids might want to know, well, why is transportation? Who cares? What's that got to do with farming? But we talk about infrastructure in this particular unit. And so there's a little description here at the top, and you can click straight down to the teacher background. So you get a little bit of background about why transportation is important. And then you even have the alignment with next-gen science standards. Now, I realize that Ohio has not adopted next-gen science standards, but next-gen science standards are really important in science. And so what we've decided to do is give you at least the alignment. So if you choose to go down that path, you can use these. We have aligned many of our lessons with the Ohio standards as well, and you'll see those in tags at the very bottom on some of our units. Okay, so if you go back up here in this green box is the set of lessons that go with this. So what I love about this one is there are several different articles. One of them is about locks. And if you ask students about locks, some of them may think about that as locks and bagels, but I'm talking about transportation locks on river systems. And so students don't have a lot of experience with all the different types of infrastructure that are being used to help move our commodities. So you have some student and teacher pages, so student questions and teacher answers, and then a position paper that gives a little background. And then there's an activity where students make some calculations and learn about capacities of different carriers and things like that. If you scroll on down, you can usually see the curriculum author. These folks are our teacher leaders, and they're represented on our leader page, which I'll get to in just a minute. And then you have some similar types of units and articles that relate to this particular piece. So that's the curriculum, and you can get to the curriculum either through a content collection like I did, or to go to the curriculum tab. And if you click on the curriculum tab, we have that laid out right now just as a set of pictures. And we have 10 pages, I think, of curriculum units. So lots of things to choose from. Another favorite of mine is our e-learning courses. There are a lot of students that need a little bit of extra background, and maybe you want to use a flipped classroom kind of a model. You can use these e-learning courses. So these courses are designed to allow students to move at their own pace. There's a pre-test. There's several different lessons and a post-test. You have the learning objectives here. So you can do a quick look and say, yeah, that's going to align to exactly what I want to teach. And then you can actually move into the course from any point. So from the, you have a content piece on the left-hand side that allows you to move through the course. And then you can scroll down and scroll through the information. Now, what we have also been doing is giving some voiceovers to these courses. We know that some students need a little bit of extra support when they're reading through something like this. And so if you click just on the button, then it will play what's on the screen. And if you don't need that, then you can just scroll right through and continue on without the reading. So it's a really nice feature, I think, and it gives the students the extra support they need without having to sit and wait for the reading to go by. So I hope everybody could see that screen, because sometimes when I switch from place to place, you can't always see that. But I'm going to go back to the e-learning courses. Again, there are about, I think we have 10 or 11 of these. So these are on a variety of topics, again, related to agriculture, but also we'll be adding new ones, at least a couple of new ones we have plans for this year. So keep watching the newsletter for information about those ones. We also, there's several other things here that I'll highlight at the very end, but I want to get through several different pieces. So I'm kind of jumping around. Our workshop and events we'll talk a little bit more about, but I did mention that we have these events listed so that you can kind of follow us. And the biggest thing, and Tom mentioned this as well, is this idea of careers. We are trying to attract science teachers who don't necessarily think a lot about agriculture to talk to their students about agriculture opportunities. And so we have this whole career section. This section is divided up into the 8 different agriculture pathways. And these pathways are taught through our agri-science programs and career tech programs across the state. But if you have students who are interested in some of these or want to do a little exploration, you can actually give your students this career survey. It's printable. It's very informal. It's not been validated by any kind of lot of research. But basically what we did was we tried to match up the things that students might enjoy doing and qualities that they have and subjects that they like to those different, those 8 different pathways. So you can have them take this inventory and then they can total up the bullet points and decide which ones they match the most with. And right now, the biggest need in agriculture careers is for agribusiness. So I'm going to click right there on that box, and that takes us to the description and the discussion about agribusiness careers in this pathway. I could also have clicked on that box without going through the survey, but basically there's a little information at the top, some careers that are listed there, a link to Ohio Means Jobs, which is in Ohio, of course, one of our the resources that we can have students use and fill out interest inventories there. But the thing that I like the most is that most of our career pathways have these discussion guides. And so you may not think, okay, I don't really want to talk about careers, but perhaps you could talk about careers through a scenario. So this discussion guide provides a scenario about soy-based ink and having students trying to figure out how might you be able to market and make a business out of soy-based ink. So there's some connections there for curriculum. There's an actual link to another set of activities and some solutions that are also given. So you're not on your own trying to decide how to talk about agribusiness careers. We've given you a lot of help. The other thing that I really like about the website is if you, screen sharing.
Over, Jane. It's over.
Screen sharing, yeah, it's gone. Yep.
Finished. Cut off.
Yeah, I don't know what
One
happened.
thing you forgot to mention, there is a 10-minute limit on GrowNextGen, and then they cut you off. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
That was it, I guess. I'm
I'm
done.
just kidding. That's not true.
I do want to show one more thing, and then we'll get started on our, my Firefox just quit. I've been having.
Firefox is unreliable.
I guess. Now that would not be what other people would say about that, but.
Okay, so let's vote in the chat. Who likes Firefox? Now me.
Yeah, which is the best, which is the best web browser. Yeah, I know Chrome, but you know, my Chrome got infected. It was really weird. I like got a virus or something, and I'm a Mac user, so I don't know how that happens. Anyway, okay, so two last things, and then we're done, and then I'm going to put you guys to work. All right, career videos. Again, what we're hoping is that students will get a better understanding of careers, and as they work through even hands-on curriculum, and they're trying to solve problems that are related to feeding the world. So these career videos have come from multiple sources. So we have some that are GrowNextGen and some that are other resources that we've asked for permission to post on our site. And so they give a really good view of all of the different types of careers. And last but not least, if there isn't a career video that you can find about one of the topics that you're interested in, we have a set of industry leaders and teacher leaders that are willing to zoom into your classroom, talk to your students, help them with science research, and all kinds of interesting things like that. So they're tagged up here. So if I click on biotechnology, then I'll get a couple of the teachers that are on here tonight. And we also have industry leaders that are interested in talking to students about biotechnology and genetics. So you can sort and filter by using these tags, or you can look at all the leaders that we have, which is very, very many, numerous folks. And so we have farmers on that list as well. So if you're interested in asking farmers questions, the board members have agreed to be available for that. All right, so I'm going to stop my sharing. And the one thing that I wanted to ask you to do as you guys are working together today is we're going to put you in some breakout rooms. And I don't know, maybe you're excited about that and maybe you're not, I don't know. But we have some leaders that are going to help us lead in those breakout rooms. So if I can just, I'm going to kind of do a little call out. Well, first off, Sally is going to put us in breakout rooms. Sally's been communicating with you, so Sally, wave. And then I've got Jeannie and Heather from our team. So they're going to be in each in a breakout room. I'm going to be in a breakout room. And then Rachel Sanders and Jennifer Faudree, they're also going to be in breakout rooms. So do you guys want to just say where you're from, Rachel and Jen, and then we'll have Sally kind of just load us in, I guess. Does that make sense?
Rachel, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Rachel Sanders. Happy Friday Eve. Whoop whoop. We're getting closer to the end of the week. I feel like this has been a double week with the weather and even crazier schedules. I don't know about anybody else. But with that, I am at Global Impact STEM Academy in Springfield, Ohio, and I teach a bioresearch class. I am part of the Ag pathway here in Ohio. That is an A3 bioscience pathway. So, and I've been with GrowNextGen for a really long time. Hi, Heather. I can now see that you're there because it was different when I couldn't see everybody.
I know, that's why I stopped sharing.
So there you go. That's
Jen?
me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Faudree. I'm at Miami Valley Career Technology Center, which is in Clayton, Ohio. Previously, I was at Global Impact with Rachel as well. I teach the health biotechnology program, which is the JO pathway, but we incorporate ag and environmental biotechnology as well.
And Heather, you want to?
Hey, everybody. My name is Heather Bryan. I'm an education specialist for education projects and a farmer. So if you have any farming questions, you can ask me.
Awesome. Thanks. And Jeannie?
You're muted, Jeannie.
My qualifications are not nearly as incredible as theirs. So I'm a CEO of Education Projects. So I've been doing this work connecting teachers to agriculture for 20 plus years. I was a really fourth grade through about sixth grade science. I taught science of sixth graders. So my science, like if you want to know science, you need to talk to Rachel or Jennifer or Heather or Stephanie or Jane. But I'll fake my way through it with you all. Can't wait to see some of you in a breakout room.
Yeah, and other leaders that are on, Kathy Daniels, you're on, right?
Yeah, she's making fun of your choice of Safari, I think, or whatever.
Oh, okay. And then Stephanie Jolliffe is also on. So thanks, guys, for joining us. And then Diane Keller as well, who will be talking to us just a little bit after we get done in the breakout rooms. So I'm going to turn it over to Sally to put us in breakout rooms. If you give us 15 minutes, and we may not need that long because we're, a smaller group than what we thought. So.
Melissa, I just tried to send you to room 5. You should have an invitation.
I'm not sure what's happening, so I came in a little late. Sorry.
That's fine. I just tried to assign you to room 5. So
Right. What's going on in room 5? I just
they're going to be just doing a little kind of like scavenger hunt to look at some of the resources on the website. So everybody's just going into different rooms to do a different activity right now.
okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It kicked me out of room 5.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can help you with that, Pat. Just a
Okay.
second.
Okay. Okay. I'll try it again.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have good conversations?
Well, Jane, I just want to say that if the Google Doc is any indication of effort and energy, then I'm pretty sure that our team should win some sort of award. I don't know if there are awards, like I have my crown up here someplace, so I can.
Oh, you should get it for sure.
I'll be right back.
Did we lose a couple people? Here we are. Okay. No, maybe just not everybody's back yet from the breakout rooms. Yes, you win the prize.
Georgia, if I could get you with this crown on, you would win this crown. What do you got? Don't you like this?
Not just a crown.
Georgia, Diane, Heather, and I. You would win this. Thank you, Georgia, for your applause. Because look at all the stuff we have here.
Yes, and we need to put that Google Doc in. I have to admit that my group didn't add one thing to that Google Doc, so we can probably do that. But we had such a small group, and they had different things that they were looking for. So
it's fine. It was good. It was a personal touch.
Fill it in. We can fill it in.
Yeah, we'll definitely fill it in for you. All right, and then we'll share that document with everybody in our follow-up email. Is that all right, Sally? Are you going to do a follow-up email?
I will.
Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so some feedback. Did folks find things that they think are useful? Are there things that you think that we should do differently? Are there things missing? What can we do?
We have a PowerPoint presentation, which just kidding. I'm just kidding. Georgia's going to talk for our particular group. Sorry, I'm off track. I know. Georgia, go. Come on, give it to them.
Y'all will have to forgive my screen. This is not some fancy snazzy deal as everybody thought. I'm having computer issues.
Oh.
I'm Georgia Littleton. I'm from Boonville, Arkansas. And we are a very rural school with 100% free breakfast and lunch. So we have a high poverty area. I have born and raised on a farm. And when I was 15, my mom got remarried and we moved to a registered Holstein dairy farm. So I have the dairy background. And then also we had a crossbred beef farm. Went to college for an ag business degree and then came back to the family farm for 13 years. So I've got the farm background. It's really helped me a lot. That's why I was so into science and STEM when I was teaching. But I was asked to revamp our GT program to include STEM. So that's where I'm at now. Excited, love it, just totally different. So what I'm doing in that is, and I know I'm off track, but it'll all tie in, I promise, just bear with me a minute. But I'm trying to get my kids to do projects in their own interest areas, but at the same time, show them new things. And because we are such a rural area, I try to bring in the farming. And I know everybody's not a farmer, but they need to know, the milk does not come from the store. Golly. It's like I was telling my group that I told my kids this week when we were doing a virtual field trip that I did not eat a store-bought vegetable until I was 15 because we had a huge garden and everything came out of the garden. We made our own jelly. We had our own beef that we butchered, our own hogs. We were, and we're not like no recluse, weird people. We just grew everything ourselves because that's what we liked it and how we were raised. I mean, it was good.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, and I'm one of those that I was not raised on fast food. I was raised on home cooking. And what have I turned into? The 21st century mom. We eat out too much, That's our life. But the food science is what we did. And I was shocked. When I got an email from your company this week, the career videos were attached to it. So I sent that to all my 7th through 12th grade GT students to try to expand them into the high school counselor to show them, hey, look at all these careers, because I'm wanting kids to understand just because you talk about ag doesn't mean they have to go into welding or, be a vet. It is so
Right.
broad. And that's what I'm wanting to do, is expose these kids to numerous things. So even though, and I forgot your name, I'm sorry, this is a computer science teacher.
Oh,
She
Diane.
was
Yeah.
Diane. Okay, I'm horrible with names, and her name's cut off on my screen. But Diane was saying she teaches computer science, but she still brings in the food science, because
Mhm.
everybody eats it, as her words were, and that is so important, because where would we be if we didn't eat? I've been to a
Exactly.
lot of workshops. I love to go to the Farm Bureau workshops, Ag in the Classroom. If you've never been to those, they're awesome. They're great. They tie right in with this.
Mhm.
One of the things that they pointed out to us is, everybody eats. Come on, you gotta have it. So it's really great. But I loved our PowerPoint. I'll try to remember what off the back of my head what all we added, because it's not up there. But I loved the careers part. There was an e-learning. There's the curriculum units. There's the industry contacts. And there was like a collection to where it's kind of everything is housed in there if you just wanted to go to one place. So far the y'all's website has been so easy to navigate and to
Oh,
find
love
stuff.
hearing that.
You
can run the next one of these. This is
okay,
great.
hey, I can do it. I was trying to do a history navigate. There's a competition called the History Day, and when I didn't have kids in my classroom, I found these examples of the documentaries the students made just real quick. When my kids got in there and I was trying to find them, I couldn't find them. And I hate websites like that you have to dig and dig and dig. But
Yeah.
y'all's is so easy to navigate, and it's really nice. As far as what else you could add, oh my goodness, I would know, because you've got so much there. I mean, y'all have done a wonderful job, and I haven't even dug into the elementary part yet. So that and the virtual field trips and the careers are what's really got me going. So
Great.
I'm excited for those. But I think you have enough that anybody in any field could really benefit from your website. So thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very complimentary. Yeah, we love hearing all of that. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Diane Keller real quick. Because we are running right up onto 8 o'clock, but I wanted Diane to mention one of the programs that we do run for Ohio teachers called an externship. And Diane actually participated in one this summer. And so if you could just share a few words about that, Diane.
Sure. I'm Diane Keller, and I teach computer science in Dayton, Ohio. And so we had one plan for the externship, and we had this called a pandemic, and it really took a different course. So I won't go into what we were going to do, but so I was paired up with another computer science teacher. And in many schools, when you're a computer science teacher, you are the computer science department. And so I am working with another teacher. Well, her and I all summer work together. How does ag and computer science come together? And so we met regularly through the summer. We both teach advanced placement computer science. And so we created lessons and resources to pair computer science and specifically AP computer science with agriculture. Like I said, and somebody quoted me as saying, everybody eats, but someone typed that in the chat. So I really can't steal that, but that's how I tie that in with my students. Okay, let's talk about food. Okay, you have them right there. Okay, you're going to talk about food. And then, we develop into, well, what are some computational innovations that are important to agriculture and important to food? And so we go, and there's not a thing you really can't talk about. I was telling my small group that for whatever reason, kids are really intrigued by like self-driving cars. Well, that's a huge innovation in farming, in drones, and another huge innovation in computer science. And so, just getting them, to think about these computational innovations and planning for the future. And something else, that I told my small group that I really do tell my students, I'm like, listen, you guys, I'm old and I'm going to die soon. So this is really your job to plan for the future because I'm going to be dead. Okay.
Yep.
So it's really your task. And how are you, we talk about sustainability, what are you going to invent? What are you going to do to make sure you're fed, your grandchildren are fed,
Mhm.
and, and we do talk about world hunger and, so I guess, like I said, my tag is kind of, computer science and food, and there's not a topic that you can't connect. And just real kind of, Georgia, something else too. And if you want contact information, I'd be glad to share. I'm in a city school, and I got involved through one of my teachers at my school, and Todd Taylor, he grows things in the classroom.
Mhm.
He has all this like lettuce. And so, you can do that in the classroom. We're not some big fancy school. He does some really cool things with environmental science and things. So, Georgia, if you want what he's done, I can certainly, he's a great teacher and got me involved in this group.
And a collaborator. Yeah, he's one of our teacher leaders too. So thanks so much, Diane, for sharing about that. The externships are really where what we try to do with teachers is place them with an industry person, and we pay them, and in return they write a piece of curriculum. And so you can see Jeannie had to put a connection, the link to Diane's piece that's up there, Diane and Ann Fuller from Dublin Jerome. So I appreciate you sharing about that. We do have a limited number of those Ohio externships. So if you know an Ohio teacher who's interested in doing that during the summer, it's really 40 hours of a commitment, and then create a piece of curriculum that connects that industry to the classroom. And Rachel and Jennifer both worked with the bee lady from the Ohio Department of Agriculture. And so lots of different things out there that you can do. And we've had teachers work with Sunrise Co-op, Waterman Farm. So, we've had Spanish teachers and computer science teachers and science teachers. So there's just a few more things I'm going to try and share here in the last couple of minutes, because we do have a few more pieces. We do have upcoming events. We do professional development, usually during the summer, and sometimes during the school year, one day events. Sometimes we are going to have an Ag Biotech Academy. Chick Quest will be back in the fall, but we are doing a virtual Chick Quest for elementary teachers starting next week, I think, or the week after. Heather will be leading that. We do a Field to Package, which is a food science workshop with the Center for Innovative Food Technology. And obviously we do these webinars. Of course, if you want to keep up, you may already have subscribed to our newsletter, and that may be how you heard about this, but we also have a Twitter account. And as I mentioned in our little group, we have YouTube as well. And here's a list of some things that are coming up next, and we can send that out to you. We have other education programs that we work with. So Nurse the Future is one of those. And we like to treat teachers to some fun things. And you can tell Jeannie is all about the fun. So we will have a kickoff to summer in the spring, and then talking about some other national resources and our back to school webinar as well. And then, we will do another piece with GrowNextGen and trying to get a little bit more formal into your lesson plans. So again, I want to thank you. There are many more things that are on these on this website that we didn't get a chance to talk about. If you're looking for virtual visits to lead some activities in your classroom, we have ambassadors that will zoom into your classroom and do activities with mainly elementary and middle schoolers. And we do provide virtual field trips. I didn't really mention the virtual field trips, but Georgia did for us, so that was nice. Thank you very much for that shout out. And again, I really want to thank the leaders tonight. Thank you for helping facilitate. And I think it was really good conversation. I enjoyed the time that I spent with teachers in my small group. So looking forward to seeing you again soon at another webinar that we're going to put together, and I'll put that, those dates back up there if somebody wants to take a screenshot of that, or if you need to take a photo of it, and we'll be sending those out again. As I said, if you're on our email list, you'll get information about all of those. So thank you so much for putting up with us for an hour. We really do love teachers, and we love to inspire teachers. So anything we can do to help you, you just let us know. All right. Anybody good for the, anything good of the order?
Thank y'all so much. I enjoyed it.
Thank you for being here.
My crown, let me know. I can out for periods of time. Everybody needs to have a little sparkly in their life. Thanks, Jane, for leading the charge.
Sure. Thank you guys for helping out. I appreciate it. See you all soon.
Good night. Good night, everybody.